have cell membranes, or not cell membranes, there we go. So you have two neurons. So the signal travels down this way. So the signal is traveling this way. Let's say there's a, well, we can start that later. So let's say a signal starts. Right here we have a calcium voltage-gated channel. And once the signal hits here, this opens to let in calcium.
What is the signal coming down?
An action potential.
Okay.
So if I want to move my arm, my brain sends an action potential. Move. So that's a signal traveling down neurons. It's going to tell my muscles move. So the calcium goes in. You have these guys right here. These are just vesicles filled with a neurotransmitter. And then you have the, I don't know if he wants to know this, but these are called V snares and T snares. And so there's like little tubes in here with vesicles in them. And there's these little like transport protein guys that all they do is push them down to here. Okay. And so, but that's kind of just not really important right now. So if there's a signal coming down, it's going to open this calcium. So it's called a voltage gated because it senses the voltage change from the ions traveling. Calcium voltage gated channel. So it senses, because what happens, have you gone over action potentials? So what happens when there's an action potential? It's getting more positive. So the voltage gated channels sense that change.
Okay.
So once it's positive enough, this is going to open, calcium is going to flood in. Calcium allows these guys to fuse. Well, it fuses them. Once they fuse, they release neurotransmitter. In this case, let's call it acetylcholine. Has you used that term before? Okay. So acetylcholine. So down here on the next neuron, you have these little bow ties called ligand gates.
Okay.
So the acetylcholine comes down here and binds to the outside of the ligand gate. Important to remember, neurotransmitter, acetylcholine, does not go in. It just binds to that. It's the key that opens the door.
But it doesn't go in itself?
No. It just binds to the outside. So what this does is, so these are ligand gates. And just for the purposes of what we're talking about right now, their main purpose right now is that they allow what's outside the cell that wants to get in.
Calcium?
There's calcium, what else? Like huge concentration of it.
I'm not sure.
Just remember, if you have a cell, there's a lot of
No sodium.
sodium out here,
Potassium inside.
a lot of potassium in here, a little sodium in here, little potassium out here. So there's all this sodium out here that wants to get in. So as soon as these gates open, boom, sodium's going to go in. So on the side of this cell, you have more voltage gated gates, which are sodium voltage gated channels. So as soon as, where's that girl? She thought we started at 10:15. Oh, she's here. Let me go grab her real quick.
Okay.
Are you familiar with all these terms? How you have an action potential coming down a neuron, which the voltage change opens the calcium gate, which allows these vesicles filled with acetylcholine to bind to the T snares and the V snares. Acetylcholine comes out, binds to the ligand gates, allows sodium in. You understand all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So when enough sodium gets in, so this sodium coming in right here is this on the action potential little graph. Does that make sense? So it's coming in, reaches threshold right here. So once enough of it does, it's gonna make this one open. And more is gonna come in. So now we're here. So it's gonna go down, and there's more
It's like
these
the way
gates along the side. So it's gonna keep going, because once an action potential starts, can you stop it?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. So it's gonna keep going to the next neuron down here, which looks just like this, which is gonna come down, then open that sodium channel at the end of it, release more, and then keep going.
So
Does that
it's just
make
kinda
sense?
like a constant recycle, or does it just go down? Does that make sense? Like, is the action potential just going down,
Yeah.
and then does it eventually like work its way back up, or does it just keep going?
Well, so if I tell my arm to move, my brain sends an action potential down my neurons
Okay,
and say, move.
okay,
That makes sense?
yeah.
Or if you feel something hot, or sense a touch even, touch something, there's receptors that go up to your brain. Your brain interprets it, and then sends it back down to there, sensing that you're touching something.
Okay.
Okay, so that all make sense?
I think so.
I understood how like the wave, it just keeps making action potentials keep happening, and so it makes it down the membrane until it gets and hits another calcium ligate. Isn't that what it does? Action potentials keep happening until it hits like the one at the beginning. Another calcium one. And then
This is just to kind of get the idea, because it's like the basic
okay.
thing, and then muscle's a little bit more complicated.
Okay. Sweet. I thought this was a muscle one.
No, this is just like neuron to neuron.
Oh, okay.
No, muscle's a little bit more difficult.
Sweet.